Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review. With me, Peter, the master of Hoppets, looking at another one of the beers that I got from Kiosk, from their nice selection of New York beers. They freshly imported themselves. So thanks a ton to Kiosk for the beer. Link for their shop is down below. They still have some beers left from their little import. So this will be my first beer from two New York based breweries. And this is from KCBC, aka Kings County Brewers Collective, brewed in collaboration with Boroughs Brewing Company, and this is their Polkageist Helles Lager. A few people actually commented you should have gotten their sours, but I mean, Kiosk were kind enough to make a mix box for me, so just of some of the beers they decided. So I'm just thankful that I get to try this. I wouldn't have gotten to try it otherwise, and this will be fun because lagers, I've heard, are really coming back in style, especially in America at the moment. They're so huge in Europe, especially Germany. So it'll be fun to see how good this American brewed lager is. Because usually when people think lager in America, they think Budweiser, Miller, Coors, all these big adjunct brands. But this will be fun. So great artwork on this one. I guess this is kind of like their Oktoberfest beer or something like that, since it's called Polkageist. So it would have been fitting for an Oktoberfest video. I love these kind of ghosts or ghouls or ghosts or whatever on the labels, poltergeists, playing Oktoberfest style music. But this is a Helles Lager. It's 4.8%, and Helles Lagers are not something you see too much of. Actually, I'd say personally, I know Carlsberg, for example, is a Pilsner, but if you try and taste that compared to a German Pilsner, it's nowhere near as hoppy. It's more close to a Helles Lager. And Helles Lager are from southern Bavaria, or southern Germany in general, is kind of where it originated. And it's a less hoppier beer style than the Pils. It for a long time was the most popular lager beer style in most of Germany, but Pils kind of overtook that. And there was even stories, I was in Bamberg earlier this year, and there were even stories about the reason why Helles Lager was brewed in southern Germany was because it was less expensive to make because they didn't have the money for the hops. And the reason why the northern Germany they brewed more Pils was because they had more money for making Pilsners, because it was a richer part of the country and they would be more expensive to make because they used more hops. So I don't think that's completely true, but I tried a lot of very nice Helles Lagers in Bamberg. It's a nice style. I can really, like, a lot of people can't appreciate lagers once they get into craft beer, which I think is a bit silly. It only has big, bold, explosive flavors. One of the beauties of craft beer is also the subtleties and all these small, complex nuances you still can get, even though it's not a big smack in the face haze bomb or whatever. So this will be really fun to try. Let's check it out, guys. So we got the Polkageist poured, and do you know what? It looks very close to a Helles Lager. They said unfiltered, and so I was thinking it's probably going to be murky, but they actually got a fairly decent filtration or like clear color to it. This might just be chill haze, you know? So it's a nice, very nice, slightly hazy golden yellow color. You can really see the carbonation streaming up in the glass. The head that's there right now is not that big, but when I poured it, it was like a nice, big, frothy, white, rocky head. But it's turned into beer now because I have to take pictures for social media and all that stuff. So it's made with German spring barley, and then they use a newer hop that I've never really heard of from, like a crossbred, a newer hop from, I believe it was, yeah, Slovenia. It's a crossbreed of Styrian Golding, Aurora, and then a wild Slovenian hop called Celia. So it's going to be my first time trying that. So cool, they put a little bit of a new influence on it, but looks great. Let's check out the aroma on Polkageist by KCBC and Boroughs Brewing. Yeah, it's a bit hard to smell because there's way too much in the glass, but it smells like classic Helles Lager. Very well executed Helles Lager too. They're soft, subtle, crisp Pilsner or lager malt kind of quality is there. That like crispness and then sweetness. And it's very subtle, like with lagers. A lot of times, you know, during fermentation, they produce a lot of sulfur, which smells eggy. It's so subtle in here, you basically don't smell it. It's fermented out. And also, there's also the chance of DMS. It's also higher in lagers. Lagers are much harder to brew than your big flavorsome ales. But it's nice, it's soft, it's subtle. It's taking me back to Bamberg, which is pretty impressive. It's got some nice, spicy, earthy hop notes from the Celia hop. And maybe some grassiness, citric, floral. It smells like classic Germany, very well made, like classic Helles Lager, and it's not as crazy hoppy as a Pils. It's crazy hoppy, as hoppy as a Pils. You get some of those nice nuances of the malt as well. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys, and thanks a ton to Kiosk for the beer. dead on style-wise. Dead on style-wise. There might be a little bit too much of an ester flavor to it from the yeast, because I'm getting a bit of ester. It could also just be a fruitiness from the hop. That's really good though. That is really nice Helles lager. It is taking me back to being in Bamberg, even though this is from New York. But yeah, that just goes to show you can get really well brewed pilsners or Helles lagers in the States as well, not just the mass-produced swill. And I'm saying that drinking it out of my Warsteiner Pilsner glass. Big company in Germany, but this is really well made. Medium mouthfeel, very crisp. That clean lager finish. It's got a very nice limey and lemony and grassy hop profile with a nice little bit of a spice in the end. I really like that flavor of the hop. It's more lemony and limey than a lot of the noble hops, but it's still, you get the classic noble hop spice and bite on the back end. Soft on the bitterness, like you want in a Helles lager. Maybe it's just slightly more bitter than some Helles lagers, at least the ones I had in Bamberg, but it's not nowhere near as like North German Pilsners, which is nice. And then you get that crisp, sweet, clean, sweet Pilsner malt flavor. No sulfuric flavor whatsoever. There is a bit of a fruity, estery flavor, but yeah, this is very, very well made Helles lager. Perfect, as they say, session beer, crusher, something you could drink a lot of. It's got to be one of the better brewed American lagers I've had in a long time. And I have another lager from the States to try from Threes. Or Pilsner, yeah, I think it's called. It'll be fun to try. But rating wise, for the KCBC and 5 Boroughs Brewing Polkageist. One of the better lagers I've had in a long time from a craft brewery. Sometimes craft breweries don't do too many lagers, and a lot of craft breweries, they end up doing India Pale lagers and all this, but I really appreciate this right now. This is really good. This is a 90. This is so dead on for the style. There's a bit of sticking out a bit, but it's okay. You know, it's a craft brewery. It's in the States, not Germany, so people are not going totally crazy if it's not completely according to style. And I like a bit of extra fruitiness from the esters and the hops and the Celia hop, which is actually quite nice. So yeah, 90 guys, this is very well-made stuff. If you were into lagers and you just want to, you know, if you can appreciate lager and not only haze bombs and crazy barrel-aged imperial stout, this is worth your time for sure. I, of course, also love those beers too, but as I've said in comments and whatnot, one of the things about craft beer that's awesome, and beer in general, is the fucking variety, and there still is room for great stuff like this. Great brewed lager. So, if you guys had a chance to try the Polkageist by KCBC and 5 Boroughs Brewing Co. over in the States, in New York, definitely let me know what you thought of it. I think you can still get this on kiosk as well, so check them out. Link for them is down below. And yeah, as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I want to say cheers, and see you guys in another beer review.